We have a very exciting setting coming to D&D Beyond. What is that setting?
It is the setting of the Symbaroum role-playing game. It's a setting of a Swedish role-playing game that was first launched in 2014. We also converted the game and hence the setting to the 5e rule set. And today is
Yes.
the release, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so extremely proud and excited to see that my darling setting of Symbaroum is coming to D&D Beyond.
Right. So what is the setting? Like for those that don't know.
Yeah, I have this three-word slogan that I sometimes use when describing Symbaroum and saying that it is deeper, deadlier, and darker. Deeper in the sense that it focuses in on a very limited area.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a very huge setting map, if you will. Instead, we try to go deep, both in terms of contrasts between different factions and factions within the factions and political intrigue and maneuvering and whatnot, but also in the lore, the first section of the product or the book. It is like sort of an in-game perspective, sort of how would the players view this setting, just visiting towns and cities, and the main character of the game, which is arguably the great forest of Davukar. Then we have a second section that delves deeper under the surface and gives the GM tools, not only in terms of adventure seeds or plot hooks, but also revealing the secrets that are hiding beneath the more shallow description in the first section. So a game master will have lots to draw from when creating homebrew adventures. And then there is this third section that is all about going on expeditions into the Great Forest of Davokar, which is kind of what the game is all about. And you will never be alone on those expeditions. You will have competitors, other rivaling parties, or an expedition sent from the Sun Church, or maybe a team of Queen's rangers that are out in the forest to make sure that everyone who travels there has their licenses in order. Or if you're really unlucky, you come across the elves of Davokar Forest. To put it bluntly, the elves occupy basically the same role in the Symbaroum universe as your orc would do in other fantasy games, the default enemy, if you will. They claim that if you tread less carefully and delve too deep down into the layers of the Symbaroum forest floor, you will probably awaken the ancient evils of the old Symbarian empire that stood here about a millennium ago. But the elves are quite adamant that you should leave those ruins alone because, yeah, you don't want to wake up what slumbers down there.
What is the main hook for why players enter into the forest?
Life in the kingdom of Umbria, which is sort of the where you start out playing Symbaroum, it's hard. And a lot of people who venture out into the forest do so as a last means of trying to scrape together enough money, finding artifacts or even debris from the olden days of Symbaroum that can be sold at marketplaces and such. Then, of course, you have the Wizards of Ordo Magica, which is kind of the big magical organization of Umbria. They go out there for knowledge, insights, all these artifacts that are there waiting to be studied. There are people trying to establish outposts out there. It is abundant. It is lush, this forest, at least in the outskirts. The really heavy stuff is further in. So if you can establish and defend an outpost in the outskirts of Davokar, you can trade in lumber and all the other fruits of the forest. So that is another thing. Then you have these people trying to sort of flee from the oppressive Queen Corinthia of Umbria. So there are indeed several reasons why you would go out into the forest. And there are even more reasons why many of those who do don't come back.